grew up as a West Virginia boy running these hills and fishing in Mud River. And actually this bridge used to sit over top of Mud River. And as God saved me and my wife and did amazing things in our family, we felt the call to start a new church in this region. And so God has moved and He's brought people to Himself, and we've actually been privileged to even baptize people in the same Mud River. And what we see in West Virginia is a culture of religious lost. A lot of people know who Jesus is and know about God, but they don't follow Him, and they've never really repented and given their whole lives to Jesus. And so that was the heart behind planting New Heights Church. And so in 2012, we relocated and planted a church right here in Milton, West Virginia. And since that time, God has grown and He's brought family after family to know Him. And not only that, but He's also allowed us to plant new campuses and plant new churches and impact this mountain state and also impact the world.
Behind me is Huntington, West Virginia. It's my hometown. It's where I grew up, and it's where I begged God not to send me to plant a church. When I was a senior in high school, I knew that God wanted me to plant a church, but I didn't know when, I didn't know where, and I did not know how. And Huntington, West Virginia was the last place on my list of possible places to plant a church. In 2014, God radically changed my heart and my mind. He softened me to this city that needs Jesus so desperately. In 2015, I was sent from the Milton campus along with about 20 to 30 others from Milton to plant the Huntington campus here in Huntington. Since then, we've seen God do some amazing things. We've seen people get saved. We've seen people baptized. We've seen relationships healed, addictions broken. God has just been pouring out His favor and His grace on us, and it's been a blast.
So 8 years ago, I started here at Calvary Baptist Academy, and God had inserted me in to missional life. Now, at the time, I was probably more in love with history and government, but what I saw is God transformed me while I was here, and I stopped loving history and government so much and started loving people. And really the mission of God. And so what was interesting was I kind of grew out of my position. And what I mean by that is that Calvary needed and wanted a history teacher. And what I wanted and needed was to pastor people. And so in 2017, we set out to plant a campus in the Valley. And at first I thought to myself, like, there are enough churches in the Valley, but I was wrong. Over 70% of the Valley is unchurched, and we need more churches. We need more people proclaiming the gospel and exalting the name of Christ. And so we had 7 people that were willing to go to the Valley, and since then, as we were prepping to go and launch and put a campus, we saw God just do something amazing. We saw Him gather people and grow people in depth and a number to plant and reach Scott Depot and Hurricane and to Charleston for the sake of the gospel.
As we've grown up as a church, we have seen God bring people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different problems and situations, all coming together under one place to worship Him. And so even though we are still a baby church, we still have much more to learn and so much more to grow. We love planting new churches. And so we would invite you to please join us as we continue this endeavor to reach people from Huntington to Charleston through the ministry of New Heights Church.
It can be a little nerve-wracking to be a part of a new church because sometimes we wonder, like, are they going to be around? We want people to know we're in this for the long haul. We want to stay and put down roots because the gospel is worth that. So the name New Heights means that we're always striving and never arriving. That means we're always looking to the next mountaintop to climb. We're always looking for the next challenge because the gospel's worth that and our God is worth that. And so we want to ask, would you join us in this movement, and would you join us in praying for the next big thing that God has for us?